Hey there, everybody. So your instructor, Cameron Geller here. So as we finish off our summer course and conclude with our final upcoming practical and written exam, more or less, right, it's online, I want to end with a final story, final inspirational story that I hope you enjoy to finish off our course. So this story comes from a young kid, once upon a time, who had a really difficult time in school. They wanted to learn. They were eager. They'd ask questions. They tried to pay attention, but they really couldn't stay focused as much as they wanted to. So they'd have to ask questions a bunch of times to their teachers before they could understand something. And it took way longer than the rest of the class to get it. And no matter how many times the student tried to ask questions to make sure they knew the information, the teachers didn't have the patience. Or they couldn't deal with it. It wasn't their job to babysit. They were there to tell the information. That was it. There was one time when this student in 7th grade was in their history class and they get a D. And the teacher walks up to the student and says, "Do you know why you got a D?" And the student says, "Because I didn't study." And the teacher said, "No, because you're dumb. D is for dumb, and that's what you are." And the student was crushed. And they thought, well, I keep trying, but if my teachers and my school don't care, why should I? And so the student just gave up on school altogether. Was only, 13. They already gave up on life. In 9th grade, they were fortunate to meet a biology teacher. And that teacher not only taught them the history of life, but forever changed their own, and finally gave them somebody who was willing to be patient with them. They stayed after school and they helped that student to do better. Not only do better, but help them get interested in science and school altogether. And they tried harder in school throughout high school. They did better. They got their grades up, and they even thought, hey, if I can do this, maybe I can go to college. So they go to college and they continue to struggle. They decided to go into pre-med because they thought, well, that teacher was really inspiring. Maybe I'll go into science too. And they floundered horribly. They were mired in the quagmire all the time. And it got so bad, they thought about dropping out of school. But then a good friend reached out and said, hey, just don't give up. I'm a pre-med too. I'm going to help you get through this, I promise. So that student makes friends who are also pre-med. They finish with really good grades. And from there, they decide that they really want to go into teaching and research because they love both components. The research was to carry on their passion of science, and the teaching was to carry on the passion of helping out others who had experienced similar difficulties. And that person grew up to be me. And the friend who helped me along the way when I was about to drop out, I don't have my ring on, but she's now my wife. And to this day continues to be my biggest cheerleader to help me get through everything that I do. So I hope this story helps to show you that you can start from very humble beginnings where you may struggle, you may find it difficult to stay on par with everybody else. They've already finished the race and you haven't even left the track. But don't give up. If you really like what you do, no matter how many times it kicks you down, as long as you have one reason to get back up, you're going to keep going and you're going to find that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. So with that, I want to say thank you. It's been a wonderful class. I'm sorry that we didn't get to do it in person. I love teaching in person, but I hope that this virtual experience was nonetheless great for you, whether it was watching lecture videos from myself and our fellow TAs who helped organize the content, whether it was just the virtual lab assignments that helped to give you some practice. And I wish you all the absolute best. For those of you that are Matadors, I wish you a safe return in the fall. And for those of you who are not Matadors, I still wish you a safe return in the fall, depending on your campus's rules for reopening. And whether you go into science or not, I wish you the best. I hope that you take what you learned here and apply it to your desired careers and trajectories. And with that, I will forever be your 107 instructor. So thanks again for a great summer course, everybody.